Happy Monday, happy Monday. Here we are, Todd Schroth, Coach Daniel Betancourt, Agents Who Win. Looking forward to an exciting Monday ahead, bringing you guys some awesome tips this month.
Happy Monday, everybody. First and foremost, we have to thank our mothers for without them, we couldn't be here this morning. So happy belated Mother's Day to everyone watching who's a mom.
Yes, the main part. Give thanks where thanks is due.
Yep. My daughter wished me a happy Mother's Day yesterday, too. So
hey, we take part in it, too.
Thank her for that.
That's awesome.
She said, happy Mother's Day to you, Dad.
That's awesome. How old is she now?
3.
All right, awesome.
Recently, so, yeah, awesome. Today we're going to be talking about new agents coming into the business, why the failure rate of new agents is so high. We're going to be focusing the next few weeks and few episodes on this issue because it's a very prevalent issue in the real estate industry. It's been a consistent percentage for years and years that over 85% of people who get their real estate licenses are out of the business within 2 years. So we're going to talk about some of the reasons why that is. And everyone, I think, should take notes and do a little self-analysis to determine, are we guilty of any of these? And maybe you can communicate with us on some ways to overcome these issues, because sometimes doesn't just come naturally, and we don't all have the answers, but we'd love to support you in that if anyone is struggling with any of these that we're about to rattle off this morning.
Number 1, inconsistent income or failure to obtain business. This is a business that you do not get a 9-to-5 paycheck. So you've got to make sure you budget properly. You are in business for yourself, so you need to budget accordingly.
Yes, that's right. It's a huge thing to go from a salary job to a commission-only job. So you have to have some savings before you do that. Number 2, lack of support. When you go into real estate, you definitely have to align yourself with people who are having success in real estate and who can contribute support. Your real estate instructor is not going to be there after you pass that course exam, or especially after you pass the state exam. So you have to align yourself and partner with some people that are also there to help you succeed in your goal.
Number 3 is choosing the right brokerage. A lot of them end up choosing the wrong brokerage poorly, and they either focus on the splits or something else along that line, and they just need to find the right one that's going to fit them, whether it's just getting started with the right brokerage and then learning what you're doing and then moving on, or continue with the same company.
If you're just getting into real estate, I recommend you speak with some realtors. Everybody knows 5 realtors, right? So speak with a couple of the realtors that you know are doing the best. Don't choose a broker based on what you think is the right way to choose a broker, because you've never done this before. So speak with some people who have experience being successful in real estate and get their opinions on how to choose a broker. Don't just kind of, try to figure it out on your own.
If you've gone to school in class, like if you've gone to the class in a school, most of the time you'll have some connections with some of the friends there that you've met and talk to them about why they chose where they're going, and maybe share the reasons why you chose where you want to go, and maybe you guys end up going to someplace different together.
And Todd and I would be happy to give you input on this as well. You can always message us.
Yep.
Number 4 is having a negative mindset and a negative attitude. People get into real estate, they're feeling good, they're feeling positive, but if you go into real estate thinking, that certain people, you can't trust their advice because they're trying to take advantage of you in some way, just realize that you're brand new in real estate, and I don't think anyone is really trying to get into your pockets or take advantage of you. If you ask sincere friends who are experiencing success, they're going to give you sincere advice.
We watch a lot on the Facebook groups about, hey, I'm out writing 4 offers this weekend and 4 of them didn't get accepted. I mean, I just have to move on to the next house that we're going to write an offer on. You can't get down and depressed about it. It's not your fault. It's what the market is.
That's right. Yep. The market's not out to get you. You just have to learn strategies to be successful in this market, because every day when you check the MLS, there's hundreds of transactions that are closing, that are going under contract. So people are getting them done. again, you have to align yourselves with people that can help you in those ways and give you support.
Some of these may coincide with others, but thinking success comes easy in real estate, and it does and it doesn't. It's easy if you do the right path and you have the right plan, but it's a lot of hard work, grunt work, and smart work.
A lot of times people get into real estate, they had an experience with a realtor who made it seem easy, and they say, wow, you know, that realtor, they made X amount of dollars just for opening a few doors for me, and I can do that. So that's kind of oversimplifying the process and thinking that it's easy, and that's a surefire way to be in for a big surprise when you get into the real estate industry. Number 6, inability to handle tough times. So yes, like Todd mentioned earlier, you have to have thick skin. Every offer, man, could you imagine if every offer we ever made was accepted?
we would exceed, we dumbed our goals down this year. I'm like, I got to dumb them down further because we're writing so many offers.
We'd be partying with Jeff Bezos and
yeah.
Elon Musk. So a lot of our offers do not get accepted. So, and everything doesn't always pan out exactly perfectly. So you have to have thick skin. You have to realize that with each failure, you're one step closer to success.
Yep. It's even the tough times can come down to, as this market shifts and you become more of a buyer's market, knowing how to handle that, when it's there. And, even this is more of a tougher market than I would say most are, just because of, the lack of inventory. As we get into more inventory, we'll write a lot of offers and get them accepted because obviously there's more inventory there instead of multiple offer situations.
And I would just say, don't be embarrassed to ask for support. Just because you have your real estate license, you still have friends who are in real estate who are achieving a higher level of success. So even Todd and I that sell, a ton of real estate, we still have people that we go to help us with some questions that we need answers to. So you always have to have an open mind to learning more and pick the brains of people who have done it and are achieving success. Number 8, not working hard enough. Todd, what's that all about?
Not working hard enough. I think it comes down to, working smarter and not harder. Not working smart enough, because it's like getting up, you've got to have your routines in the day. And, if you just get up and blah, blah, blah all day long, you're not working smart on your business and focusing on the right things that need to be done. Treat it like a 9-to-5 job, but work it like a full-time business where it's, I call it work a half a day, pick which 12 you want to work. But, you are checking in at 9 o'clock or earlier, getting your day rolling, and, learn a time to shut down. But have your action plans for the day. Write your list out of what you're going to accomplish the night before.
Yes, real estate transactions are not going to come to you just by hanging out at the salon and mentioning that you got your real estate license. They're not going to come by sending out, signing someone up for your brokerage's drip campaign, and deals are just going to start floating in. So you have to be passionate about real estate too. I think another big key to being successful in real estate is having a sincere interest and passion for real estate. Because if you just jump into real estate because you think it's easy money and the passion's not there and interest isn't there, it's a recipe for disaster as well.
Yeah. Number 9, not having enough savings. Recommend at least 6 months of money put away, and then it really comes down to a lack of budgeting. You really got to fine tune your money you have when you get into the business. I came into the business with 6 months of savings. When I was exiting my other business I put $20,000 away. That was going to sustain me for about 7 to 8 months. And I was able to use that while I was building my sales pipeline up. And if I didn't, and luckily I had my bills very low, small car payment, small mortgage, and minimal expenses. And as we grew, we spent more money on the business.
Yeah, and having that money in the bank, that 6 months worth of bills in the bank, there's a deadline for that when it's going to come due. So that's going to also motivate you to get to work. Number 10, working part-time. So it's very difficult for customers to have confidence in their realtor if they're working a 9-to-5 job doing whatever it is that part-time realtors do, whether it's working at Verizon or whatever it is that you're doing. Customers want to know that you are working for them, and submitting a reasonable amount of hours towards what they're, it's a huge transaction for a customer. So they don't want this to be a hobby for the person that they choose to help them with this huge transaction.
One of our friends that has a license that sold one of my listings goes, yeah, sorry, I just do this for fun during the summers when I'm off from teaching. I was like, that's interesting. What do you do the other 9 months out of the year? It's when someone needs to do something. And this is not a hobby. It's not a game of fun. You are working with someone's biggest transaction. So I say get into it full time and start with the right savings account to make sure you can sustain yourself.
Number 11, fun. It's not a career. So
yeah,
we're talking to the people who want to make real estate their career.
Yep.
So if you have a career and you are an engineer and you do a few deals on the side, that's fine. That's not, real estate is not your career. You're doing it for fun or as a hobby.
Yeah. Number 11, we're looking at not having clear actions or plans or goals. And you want to set down when you are starting a business. And so you've got to set a plan of action on how many homes you're going to sell to achieve the amount of income you want, where you're going to find your lead sources and all that. That's going to help guide you to success, having that action plan down. If you guys want to ever sit down and talk about some good goals and how to start your first year out, happy to do that.
It's easy to arrive there when you have no destination planned out. So that's probably what your natural instinct is, the path of least resistance. So the path of least resistance is to go nowhere. And that's where 85% of the real estate licensees go. So the other 15, most of them, they have a destination in mind, they have goals, and they make those goals commitments, and they strive for those.
Yep. So, Number 12, not knowing how to generate real estate leads or even qualify them. I think generating them is easy. Qualifying them is a whole other gamut.
Right. You don't want to spend time on someone who's unqualified, someone who just expresses interest. You have to know what questions to ask, and you have to know how to qualify the person, see if they're actually motivated because you're going to be spending hours, and there are some customers out there that are happy to accept all of the hours you're willing to submit to them, even though they are not ready to go themselves. So the next one on the list, 13, not knowing how to market their business. So you have to get the word out. You can't be a secret agent, right, Todd? You have people have to know you're in business. They have to be reminded often. Making a post on Facebook is great, but what the algorithms on Facebook, it might be like the same 10 people that you engage with most of the time that see that post. So you have to have other venues, other strategies for getting the word out. You have to be creative. You have to have support and advice. You have to read books on being successful in real estate. That's another place where you can get a lot of good information. Don't do what conventional wisdom, because that doesn't work.
I think it's just knowing how to market your business too, is being loud about your business, being loud and proud. And it is announcing every day about real estate, but you don't have to be obnoxious about it. Picking your top 100, sending them a letter every month about, why I'm in the business and, hey, see what's going on with the markets. Branding some shirts to wear that says I'm a realtor, that make them fun. And that's, I think, going to be the biggest thing is really just getting yourself known and then working from there. Posting listings, posting sales. If you don't have any, post your companies.
And know what's going on. Like if you're not working with customers, you have all the time in the world to study the market, to study statistics, and share some of that information. Customers are going to be attracted to people who know their numbers, who know their stuff about real estate. So if you're not working with customers, you should be learning what's going on in your local market and give some state of the market videos, emails, just get the word out that you know what you're talking about. You're just not out there asking for business, because that is not attractive. So next one on the list is being difficult to work with. There's lots of people out there, this real estate is not what's like criminal law where it's a criminal attorney versus the prosecutor. So we work in cooperation with each other. Realtors, we in our code of ethics, we commit to working cooperatively with each other to make transactions happen and to be fair with each other. This is not an adversarial business. Maybe some people believe it is, but it's not. want to grow your network and be someone known as a pleasant agent to work with.
And that's the thing too, is like when I see an offer come over from Daniel Betancourt, I know it's going to be a successful transaction and he's easy to work with. I know that lender is going to be good to work with. If you want to create a referral-based business, being a difficult agent to work with is not going to generate you referrals, and that's where your best business is going to come from.
That's right. Distractions might be the number one killer of real estate careers.
Yes.
When you make your own schedule,
that's the biggest distraction. It's 9 o'clock. I'm going to go to Pilates, and 10 o'clock I'm going to go to yoga, and then dogs need to be walked, and then 12 o'clock I'm going to clean the pool, and I'm going to go get the kids from school. It is time management with distractions. It's like finding a spot in your house that you don't have any distractions. Why I can't work at home. I need blinds closed because I'll watch people walking by. You've got to get rid of all the distractions you can so you can focus your time as much as possible in the shortest amount of time you have available to you.
Yep. All kinds of time wasters that are trying to pull at your attention. So you have to be able to ignore those and be focused. And part of being focused is planning your day and executing that plan.
Yes.
Number 16, Todd,
overthinking the process. And, I just think it's, how to write a business plan. It's not that difficult. Or how to market for real estate. It's not that difficult. Just do a little bit of research and there's some simple things to do. You don't need the 100 or 1,000 page book about how to do it. The business plan. I've seen some very intricate ones. The budgets, like I get scared when I see some of these things. And literally someone will email me one that's like, how many calls you're going to make to how many appointments you're going to get to, how many messages you're going to send. And it's easy. You don't need to go through and make and overthink the process of a marketing plan or budget or anything. Just find the simple way to do it and then get it done.
And get going even more basic than that, overthinking the process. Like, what am I going to say when I call this potential prospect or call this lead? What am I going to say? Like, it's easier not to call because you don't know what to say. So then that potential business gets squashed. What am I going to say in this post? What am I going to say in this email? And, you overthink it so much, you get analysis paralysis, then nothing gets done. And, that's a surefire way to get no business. So don't overthink it. Again, if you hit this wall, writer's block or whatever you thinker's block, whatever you want to call it, get in touch with someone, find a mentor, find a coach for sure who can help you wrestle through these things. Next one is number 17, not adapting to new markets. So real estate is always changing. Right now, we're in a seller's market. Coming up might be a buyer's market. In the past, we've had foreclosure markets, short sale markets. You have to learn strategies to be successful. This is not a one-trick pony where you're going to do the same business plan every year and it's just going to be the same level of effectiveness. That is, of course, unless you do no business plan, that will be the same level of effectiveness. So you have to think.
As we get out of this market we're in, it's going to be a new market that people need to learn how to develop in. As Facebook came around, social media came around, it was new markets, new marketing, new everything. Short sales came around. I didn't adapt fast enough. Thinking it's just going to be slow and it's going to go away quickly. No, that was a 5-year run. So know to see the shifting markets to know how to adapt to them.
Right. Not being patient. Number 18. You have to be patient. When you get into real estate, the checks don't just start getting deposited into your bank account. You have to be patient. You have to put in the work. And a lot of times it's like riding a bike. At first it's difficult, but once you get that balance, once you figure out how to pedal, the transactions start. Once you've done a few transactions, you don't overthink every part of the transaction anymore. So
right.
You have to be patient with the process. You're not going to learn everything in your first month or in your first year. You have to have an open mind for always learning more and more every year. Todd and I are still learning. Our mentors are still learning. So sure, you have to be patient.
Yeah, you level up. And even, the patience is the biggest thing being tested now with the offers being sent out and waiting 3 days to get the answers on them. But yeah, patience is a virtue in this business. Number 19, focusing on splits. That's a big one. And people are always, I'm going to go 100%. Why do I need to give somebody some of my commission? I work hard for it. You don't understand, like, you're paying for that 20 years of experience. You're paying for the tools and the value that companies bring into you. You're paying for the training. And if you don't pay for that, you're not going to get that. And that, or you go find the coaches who are going to help get you there.
Yep. New agents, a lot of new agents are guilty of this. A lot of agents in general are guilty of this. They get tunnel vision on split percentages. Like before they know anything, they just passed their test. They just, passed the state exam, and they're shopping around brokerage and like, what's your split? What's your split? What's your split? Not realizing that 100% of zero is zero. If you close 0 transactions and you get 100% of that, you still have 0. So what's most important is money in the bank. Who's going to get me to a high level of production and productivity the fastest? Which support system is going to get me closing deals and teach me how to generate business the fastest? Because that's going to put dollars in the bank. It's not, the split is it's almost like going shopping and only looking at the price tag, but not looking at what it is that you're buying. I mean,
I had one agent that I was talking to for about 6 years on and off, or 5 years, and his focus was on the split, and he was at a 100% company, and every year he still only sold 6 or 7 houses. I'm like, can I get you to sell 20 houses? But then I got to work twice as hard. But if you sold 20 houses, you'd have 20 potential for new referrals, that you'd have more connections out there. And, the guy finally made a move after about 5 years, but it was like, you got to get that mindset out of your head. Why, if 100% was always the best, we'd all be there. There's value in there's value proposition in the background.
There's also more to what the split is up front. Like, for example, in our brokerage, there are easy strategies to make over 100%. But if someone were to call the brokerage and say, what's your split? They're not going to hear 100%. But in our brokerage, a lot of the agents are making beyond 100%. But it's not all about the split number that you see on the surface. You have to dive in and learn what else is there behind the price tag.
Yep, exactly. And number 20 kind of ties into a lot of it, not finding the right coaching or mentors. As a new agent coming into EXP Realty, for example, you go in and you have a mentor for the first couple of deals. They have to get paid for their training. So there's a mentor fee involved, kind of like a coaching fee. You've got to find the right ones, be aligned with the right successful partners that are going to help get you to the right spot.
Yes, the certified mentors. EXP has certified mentors, so they've gone through training specifically to be mentors. It's an incredible mentorship program, and so they walk you through the transactions, not only the transactional things, but they also teach you all about the ins and outs of the resources that our brokerage offers. So wherever you join, doesn't have to be EXP, but wherever you join, you need mentorship, you need coaching, because a coach or a mentor is going to help you with all of the other 19 things on this list. So first thing, get advice, learn the details, and for sure, mentorship and coaching is worth worth the money. Look, Michael Jordan, when he was playing basketball, and all professional athletes, they all have coaches. They can perform better than everybody in the planet, but they still have coaches. So it's really important to look for mentors and coaches in your real estate business.
As you develop your business, you're going to, switch your coaching around. If you're a new agent, you find a coach or mentor who's focused on helping new agents out. As you build your business, you want to go from 25 to 50 transactions. Kind of what I like about Club Wealth. You want to scale to 400 transactions. So now you found a coach in the company who's doing 400 transactions to help get you to that level. If you get to that, then you go to the next year.
And to qualify for that goal, right? To qualify for that goal, you have to be doing. If you want to get to 400 transactions a year, to qualify to have that kind of a coach, you have to be doing 200 transactions a year. Like, someone who's doing 3 transactions a year can't sign up with a coach to learn how to do 400 transactions a year, because they're going to be speaking different languages to each other. So
business gamut.
That's part of being patient.
Yep.
So Todd and I would love to help anyone who has questions about any of these. Feel free to call us, to message us on Facebook. We'd love to get back to you and give you our input on these. And that's it for today.
Awesome, guys. You have a great week. Appreciate you tuning in. We'll bring some more value on Friday about new agents. Have a good one.
See ya.